All right, so you're getting ready for an interview for an ICT Environmental Manager position.
That's awesome.
We've got a ton of resources from RoleCatcher to help you totally nail it.
Yeah.
Think of this deep dive as your fast track to being super confident in your interview,
Exactly.
especially for this specific role.
Yeah, we're going to break down exactly what the job is all about.
Okay.
We'll go into those tricky interview questions that you might get hit with.
Yeah.
And we'll even show you how RoleCatcher's AI can actually help you, fine-tune your answers.
Oh, nice.
To impress the hiring manager.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's start with the basics. What does an ICT Environmental Manager actually do?
Yeah.
RoleCatcher makes it clear that it's a lot more than just eco-friendly IT.
It is.
A lot more than that.
It's really about understanding everything about green ICT.
Okay.
Figuring out the environmental impact of all the tech resources that companies use, and then coming up with strategies to meet those big, huge sustainability targets that they have.
So it's big picture stuff.
Yeah, you're basically shaping how an organization interacts with the environment through all of its technology.
Wow.
Yeah.
And the scope is pretty broad, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you're working with everyone from people inside the company to government agencies and suppliers?
Yeah, exactly. So it's a very collaborative role.
Yeah.
It demands excellent communication skills.
That's
You're going to be explaining complex environmental issues to the tech guys,
Yeah.
or budget concerns to the finance team.
Right.
And then the benefits of green ICT to people who might not even be on board yet.
So you've got to be good at talking to all different types of people.
Absolutely.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Let's jump into the actual interview prep now.
Okay.
RoleCatcher has a whole bunch of sample questions that are super helpful.
Yeah.
Let's start with one that I think a lot of people might trip up on.
Okay.
How have you contributed to sustainability targets in previous roles?
Right.
Seems pretty straightforward. But I think there's an art to answering it effectively.
Absolutely. You really want to show off your achievements in a way that directly connects to what this job needs.
Okay.
Don't just list tasks, quantify what you did whenever you can.
So instead of saying something vague like I helped reduce energy consumption,
Right.
you could say, I implemented a strategy that reduced energy consumption by 15%, saving the company $10,000 annually.
Exactly. Give them numbers. Make your impact a real thing.
Yeah.
And be ready for follow-up questions too.
Oh, right.
They might ask you what challenges did you face?
Yeah.
Or how did you actually measure the success of what you did?
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
So it's almost like they're testing to see if you can think on your feet.
Exactly.
Which is probably a big part of the job itself.
Exactly. They want to see how you handle those curveballs and show that you've really thought about your experiences.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Let's try another common question.
Okay.
What are the benefits of having an ICT environmental manager in an organization?
Right.
This one feels like a chance to really shine and show how much value you can bring.
Absolutely. And this is where you should tailor your answer to the specific company you're interviewing with.
Okay.
Do your research.
Yeah.
Understand their sustainability goals, their values, what their industry is all about.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So instead of just giving a generic list of benefits,
Yeah.
I can connect them to that company's specific situation.
Exactly.
So for example, if they're publicly traded,
Right.
I could really emphasize how a strong sustainability program can boost their reputation with investors.
Exactly. You want to show that you understand their priorities and how your skills can help them get where they want to go.
Make the money, basically.
Well, help them achieve their goal.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Now, RoleCatcher also goes into typical career paths in this field, right?
Yep.
How you can go from a junior analyst all the way up to a director.
Yeah, and they even give you profiles of real people at those different levels.
Oh, cool.
So it helps you actually picture yourself in those roles.
Yeah.
And think about your long-term career goals.
Okay, so let's say I'm just starting out.
Okay.
As a junior ICT environmental analyst.
Okay.
What kind of things would I be doing?
At that level, you're probably going to be focused on research.
Okay.
Evaluating the environmental footprint of all the ICT resources.
No.
And then helping to develop sustainability policies.
Okay.
You're building that solid foundation and learning how everything works.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And then as I get more experience, I could move up to a role like ICT Environmental Coordinator.
Exactly.
Where I'd be more hands-on with implementing those strategies.
Right.
And working with all the different teams.
Exactly. And as you move up even further, you might lead the development of those strategies.
Wow.
Manage a team, and even advise senior executives.
So there's definitely a clear path to move up.
Yeah.
And RoleCatcher mention some certifications that can give you an advantage in this field,
Yeah.
like LED Green Associate.
Yes.
What is that?
LED stands for Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design.
Okay.
It's like a globally recognized certification system for green buildings.
Okay.
So having that LED Green Associate credential shows that you understand the principles of sustainable building practices, which
Right.
can be really valuable in this role.
Right.
Because you're dealing with data centers and offices and all these different buildings.
So it's like proof that you really get sustainability even beyond just IT.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. And speaking of getting an edge, I know that RoleCatcher has some AI-powered tools that can help people get ready for interviews.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit more about how those work?
Yeah, they're fantastic.
Okay.
One of them analyzes job descriptions and picks out the key skills and keywords that employers are looking for.
So it's like a cheat sheet to figure out what the hiring manager really wants to hear.
Exactly. And then you can use those keywords to make your answers perfect for each job.
Oh, that's cool.
You can even put your answers into their AI tool, and it'll give you feedback on how well you're hitting what the employer needs.
Wow, that's really impressive.
Yeah.
It's like having a personal interview coach without having to actually have someone watch you practice.
It really is, and it makes a big difference.
All right, so we've covered a lot of ground in this first part.
Yes, we have.
We've explored what the role is, tackled some common interview questions, and even talked about career paths and how AI can give you a leg up.
Exactly.
Awesome.
Yeah. And there's a lot more to come.
Okay.
In part 2, we'll go into even more specific interview questions, giving you strategies to come up with answers that will really blow them away.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
I'm excited to hear more.
Yeah, me too. Welcome back to our deep dive into getting ready for that ICT Environmental Manager interview.
All right, we're jumping right back into those tough interview questions.
That's right.
We're going to give you the strategies and insights you need to handle anything they throw at you.
Okay, so let's say you get hit with this question. Describe a situation where you had to make a really tough decision about the environmental impact of an ICT project.
Yeah.
This one's all about seeing how you make judgments.
Yeah.
And how you balance different priorities.
Because sometimes things conflict.
Exactly. It's like they're trying to see how you think when you're under pressure,
Yeah.
especially when those sustainability goals might clash with what the project needs.
Right, right.
So when you answer this one,
Yeah.
walk them through how you made the decision.
Okay.
Like, did you have to go find more information or talk to people who had different opinions?
Well,
Did you have to compromise on some things?
yeah,
Showing them that thought process is super important.
that makes sense.
And don't be afraid to talk about the challenges you face
Right.
or even what you learn from it.
Yeah,
It shows you're adaptable and that you're always trying to get better.
that's a good point.
Okay, let's switch gears to a question that's all about your communication skills. How would you approach educating employees about green ICT practices?
Oh, that's a good one.
This is where you show them that you can inspire change
Yeah.
and get everyone on board with sustainability.
Because, it's one thing for me to understand it,
Exactly.
but how do I explain it to someone who's not familiar with all this green ICT stuff?
Exactly. So think about creative ways to get people involved.
Okay.
Maybe you develop some interactive training materials or host workshops
Yeah.
or even launch a fun little awareness campaign inside the company.
I like that.
Yeah, use posters or social media.
Like a little competition or something.
Yeah, and you could use real life examples
Oh, yeah.
of how green ICT has actually made a positive difference
In the company.
in the company or even in the world.
I love that.
Yeah, storytelling is so powerful.
It is.
Now let's talk about dealing with people outside the company.
Okay.
So how would you engage with government agencies or suppliers
Okay.
on all these environmental sustainability issues? This is where you show them that you can build relationships and work with people outside the organization
Okay.
to hit those big sustainability goals.
Yeah.
It's about understanding that ICT doesn't exist in a bubble.
Right.
You could talk about strategies for building partnerships, participating in industry forums,
Okay.
or even working with suppliers to get them to adopt more sustainable practices.
And you probably have to talk to them differently.
Oh, yeah. Adapting your style to different audiences is key.
Yeah, like government agencies are all about rules and regulations.
Right.
And suppliers are probably more interested in saving money.
Exactly.
Okay. Now, for a question that I think makes a lot of people nervous,
Oh, yeah.
what are your salary expectations?
Oh, that's a tough one.
You don't want to sell yourself short,
Right.
but you also don't want to ask for too much and scare them off.
Exactly. It's a balancing act.
Any tips on how to handle this one?
Absolutely. So before the interview, Do your research.
Sure.
Look up typical salaries for this role in your area.
Yeah.
And with your level of experience,
Okay.
websites like Glassdoor or salary.com can be helpful.
Okay, I'll check those out.
And be ready to give them a range instead of a specific number.
Okay.
That gives you some wiggle room.
I like that.
Now, if they ask you about salary early on,
Yeah.
it's totally okay to say you'd like to learn more about the role before talking about money.
Okay.
It shows you're more interested in the opportunity itself
A good point.
than just the paycheck.
Now, remember those AI-powered tools from RoleCatcher we talked about?
Oh, yeah.
Those can be a game changer when it comes to making your answers perfect.
Yeah, they analyze job descriptions to find those key skills that employers are looking for, right?
Yes, and then you use those keywords to really nail your answers.
Okay.
You can even get feedback from the AI on your responses to make sure you're hitting all the points the employer needs.
That's amazing.
It's like having a personal editor for your interview answers.
I love it.
All right, so let's tackle another question.
Okay.
Do you have any questions for us? Well, this one always comes at the end.
It does, and it's your chance to shine by showing them you're really interested and getting info to help you decide if it's a good fit.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to ask thoughtful questions.
Exactly.
You could ask about their specific sustainability goals,
Okay.
their approach to employee development,
Yeah.
or even what challenges the team is facing right now.
That's a good one.
It's also a good way to get a feel for the company culture
Yeah.
and see if it matches your values.
And should I have some questions ready beforehand?
Always have a few prepared,
Yeah.
but be open to asking new ones based on how the conversation goes.
Okay.
It shows you're engaged and curious.
Okay, cool.
So we've covered a lot of ground on interview questions.
We have.
But before we move on to the final part,
Okay.
I want to go back to RoleCatcher's career insights for a sec.
Okay.
They talk about how green ICT is growing so much
Yeah.
and how that means there are amazing career opportunities.
So it's a good field to be in right now.
It's an exciting field to be in.
Yeah.
The demand for this expertise is only going to go up
Right.
as more companies make sustainability a priority.
So it's not just about getting this one job.
Exactly.
It's about being part of something bigger.
Right. It's about being part of a movement that's shaping the future.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And as this field changes, new opportunities are going to pop up.
Like what?
Think about specializing within green ICT,
Oh.
maybe focusing on data center efficiency
Uh-huh.
or circular economy practices.
I've heard of that.
It's a career with tons of potential for growth.
And for making a difference.
Absolutely. Stay tuned for the final part of our deep dive,
Okay.
where we'll wrap up with some extra insights and advice
Oh.
to help you feel super confident and prepared for your interview.
Right. Welcome back to the final part of our deep dive on acing that ICT Environmental Manager interview.
We've given you a solid understanding of what the role is all about
Yeah.
and a bunch of strategies to handle those tricky interview questions.
Yeah.
Now let's switch gears a bit
Okay.
and explore some broader insights from the RoleCatcher Career Guide.
Okay.
These can really give you an edge.
Awesome. What kind of wisdom are we talking about here?
One big takeaway is that green ICT is a growing trend.
We've talked about that.
Yeah, and this means awesome career prospects both within your current company and beyond.
So it's not just about moving up in your company.
Right, it's bigger than that.
You can move into broader sustainability roles,
Exactly.
influence strategy at a higher level,
Mm-hmm.
even shape industry-wide practices.
Yeah, and as more organizations embrace sustainability as a core value,
Yeah.
the role of the ICT Environmental Manager becomes even more important.
It's a pretty exciting time to be in this field.
It is.
Not only is it in high demand, but you're also making a real difference.
And speaking of making a difference,
Yeah.
the guide's FAQ section talks about all the benefits of having an ICT Environmental Manager.
Oh, what?
This is something they might ask you directly, so it's good to be prepared.
Yeah. What kind of benefits are we talking about?
Well, they range from reducing environmental impact to making sure you're following all the regulations,
Right.
to cutting costs through energy efficiency.
Saving money.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Enhancing the company's reputation.
Makes them look good.
Yeah. And even contributing to global sustainability goals.
Wow. It's a powerful message.
It is.
It hits on so many levels.
It's about saving the planet and creating value for the company.
Exactly.
Now, let's not forget about networking.
Oh, yeah. That's important.
RoleCatcher really pushes joining professional associations, attending industry events, connecting with people on LinkedIn.
It's more than just collecting business cards, right?
It is. It's about building real relationships, exchanging knowledge, staying on top of new trends.
You never know when a connection might lead to a dream job.
Exactly. Or a cool collaboration down the line.
All right, so let's wrap it all up.
Okay.
We even explored the role of an ICT Environmental Manager. We've tackled those tough interview questions. And we've even looked at broader career insights.
You're leaving this deep dive with knowledge strategies.
Yeah.
And even a secret weapon with RoleCatcher's AI tools.
I love those tools.
You can tailor your answers and feel confident going into that interview.
It's like having a superpower.
It kind of is.
You have everything you need to not only nail the interview, but also launch an amazing career in this field.
It's a fulfilling career.
And an impactful one.
Absolutely. And remember, technology is always changing.
Yeah, it never stops.
So the role of the ICT Environmental Manager will keep growing and adapting too.
So keep learning, keep networking, keep that passion for a greener future burning bright.
You got this.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, and best of luck with your ICT Environmental Manager interview.
We're here to support you every step of the way.